Hello and welcome. In this episode, we are thrifting through Utah looking for some treasures for my Etsy shop. I grabbed my best find yet, and we'll take a look at Native American art and hit 2 national parks. Stick around for the haul at the end. This is part 3 of our epic thrifting road trip through 5 states. If you missed the first 2, make sure you check those out. On the first day in this episode, we traveled and thrifted from Burley, Idaho to Provo, Utah. And we saw some beautiful scenery along the way. Okay, so we are in the North Ogden area. This is, I think, called Harrisville. And then this is probably the biggest deseret I've ever seen. So hopefully there'll be some good stuff in there. Wow, they have a very large selection of clothes. Holy cow. Alright, let's see what we've got in the wood aisle. Nothing but piles and piles of signs. It kind of looks like Hobby Lobby barfed in here. Well, the tchotchke area is a bit sparse. This isn't terribly interesting. Cute little pig, though. Well, there just isn't a lot here, actually. Well, no luck there, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Okay, this is Savers in Ogden. Well, so far, I'm not finding too much. It's kind of pretty. Well, we've got some baggies, and that is really cool looking. I wonder what the price is. It's a bit too big for shipping, though. I'm gonna have to leave it. Well, I'm just not having much luck today, but we are back on the road, and we'll see what happens at our next stop. Okay, we are at our, for sure, last stop. This is a Goodwill, and I think it is Layton, Utah, but I will correct it later if I'm wrong. All right, let's see what they've got. Yep. Interesting design. Chipped. This shell art owl. It's kind of cute. Looks like someone got creative. Look what I just found. It is a Glassybaby. That Glassybaby made the day. We are back on the road, driving through rush hour in Salt Lake City, but we will get to our hotel soon. Well, we finally made it to Provo, and we had a really nice late dinner at the Indian restaurant next door to the hotel. Today we are headed into Bryce Canyon, which I am super excited about because we've never been there. And we are going to do a little thrifting along the way. Okay, we are in Nephi, Utah, and we're just doing a quick stop in this cute little town. And we're gonna go into the Green Gypsy thrift shop. Wait, is that Francoma? If you know, let me know in the comments. This store was super cute and they were so nice in there. I did grab a couple of things, and in the haul, I'll let you know which one was a mistake. We did get a little bit of snow as we were going through the summit in those higher areas, but the drive through the countryside was absolutely breathtaking, especially as we got closer to Bryce Canyon. We didn't know it at the time, but this area is called Thunder Mountain Red Canyon, and Rob and I both commented on how much it looks like the Disney ride. Finally getting close to the hotel. We checked in and then we went to the really large gift shop and looked at all the beautiful Native American art. I love these textiles and collect rugs, so these were just gorgeous. These are Navajo horsehair pottery pieces, and some are etched and some are glazed, but I prefer the more natural ones, like the miniature pot. Here are some more beautiful rugs and some absolutely gorgeous jewelry. That piece right there, the squash blossom necklace, is over $3,000, but it is so pretty. They have a huge variety of really gorgeous pieces, including several of the two-spout wedding vases, which are traditionally used in a ceremony with the bride and groom, and it symbolizes love, life, and happiness. And they break the vase at the end of the ceremony and return it to the earth. The examples they have here are by the most famous artists and are such a treat to see. They're just beautiful. That top basket there looks like a Navajo wedding basket. I recently bought one at an estate sale. Alright, so we are headed back to our room, and I think those icicles are so cool. Early the next morning, we headed into the park, which is just unreal in its beauty, so I'm really happy that I can take you guys along with us. And because my husband was in the military, we got a lifetime veterans pass, and that was a big score. I just hope our national parks will be preserved. Our first stop was the Visitors Center, which I think is especially important if it's your first time there, like it was for us. Inside, you'll find, of course, the maps and trail conditions and all of that, but there are some really cool exhibits. It's kind of like a little museum, and it gives you a really good introduction to the geology of the park, along with wildlife and some cultural history. And they have bathrooms, which is always a plus. The hoodoos are the star attraction, and with good reason, because Bryce has the largest concentration of them in the world, and it took millions of years for them to erode into those iconic spires. So we are here in Bryce Canyon. This is Bryce Point Lookout. It is just gorgeous. There isn't a cloud in the sky. It's very cold. It's about 19 degrees now. I think it was 12 degrees when we went to breakfast. But anyway, it's just a beautiful, gorgeous day here. Bryce Point Lookout provides a nearly 360 degree view of the amphitheater. We were absolutely awestruck by the natural beauty. One area of the path that goes out to the point was covered in ice, and it was a bit tricky getting through that part. I had to hold on to the railing just to keep from falling on my butt. But when we were heading back to the car, there was an older lady who was headed towards the point, but she didn't want to traverse the ice to get there, which is understandable, but I felt bad for her that she was going to miss out on that beautiful view. Our next stop was Inspiration Point, which is similar to Bryce Point Lookout. It's just a different angle. It is equally as breathtaking. We went to Sunset Point next, but by then it seemed like a gazillion people had shown up and there wasn't any parking available. So Rob was nice enough to drop me off so I could get some footage. And originally we planned on coming back for the sunset, which is supposed to be amazing, but we didn't quite make it. But more on that in just a bit. From there, we decided to go to Zion National Park since it was only about an hour and 20 minutes from Bryce. The drive was gorgeous, and the temperature had warmed up some too by then, so that was nice. So we are waiting in line to get into Zion, but it says that the parking is full and you have to take a shuttle, so we'll see what that's all about. Hopefully we can at least go to the visitor center, so we'll see. For our first stop, we checked out the famous checkerboard mesa. It was really cool. The terrain going through Zion is quite different from that of Bryce Canyon. We Got to go through a couple of tunnels, and the second tunnel is called Zion Mount Carmel, and it is over a mile long. The coolest part, though, is that there are several gallery windows where you can catch a glimpse of the scenery outside. Those were made when it was built in the 20s, and I think they finished in 1930 to give some ventilation and to, I guess, chuck out the rocks that, you know, they were excavating. So those were kind of cool as well. It took quite a while for us to get to the visitor center because there was a lot of construction going on in addition to a lot of traffic. We finally made it to the visitor center, which was a nice little break before we headed even further south to St. George. Okay, so Zion was a little bit of a zoo, but we saw some beautiful, beautiful sights. We decided to go down to St. George, and we are at the Deseret. Well, I'm not finding too much here. Okay, let's see if we can find anything on the metal aisle. Looks like somebody painted this. Could be cool for displaying things. It's only $1.50. I think I'm gonna pass. Well, I didn't really have any luck there. It was a ginormous store, but they had very few home goods, so we'll try something else. All right. We are headed home, but we're going to make one more stop. This is Deseret in Cedar City, and then we are heading back to Bryce Canyon. This table is so cool. I love this spiral. Let's see, $15. It's pretty solid. I don't need any tables though. Well, again, we didn't have much luck at those thrift stores, but it was time to head back. So we decided to go a different route than we had come, mainly because it was so difficult to get through Zion with all of the traffic and the road work. It kind of seemed like most of the time we were the only ones on the road, which was a stark contrast to earlier, and it was just a very enjoyable drive. Bryce Canyon area, and we are headed to Flagstaff, where we're going to do a little bit of thrifting, and then we're just going to continue on to Tucson. We originally were going to stay the night in Flagstaff, but we're just going to get on to Tucson. So see you later. This is a cute little thrift store in Kanab, Utah. Super cute, got a few things. We really enjoyed driving through Utah and visiting the national parks, and if you ever get the chance to do it, definitely go. Our next stop, Arizona. All right, let's get to the haul. It wasn't a huge haul, but definitely one of the best in terms of a sale, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, let's see. So at the Green Gypsy, I got these two brass pillar candle holders, and I really like them. They're very classic and they have a good weight to them. So I was really happy to, find those, and they were $4 each. And I had found one, and my husband found the other one in another part of the store, so that was good because I had missed the other one. I had also gotten these two candle holders at the Green Gypsy, and these are the ones that were a mistake. If I had Google Lens them, I would have seen that these are from Hobby Lobby. So, that's a big wonk wonk. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but they're not vintage or anything great. So that was a real bummer when I realized that. The little tiny thrift store that we went to in Kanab had just a few little things. I got this cute little brass candlestick for 50 cents. I got this really pretty studio pottery pot. It's signed, it says JCC, and this was $2. And I just love the muted colors. It's all this deep blue, and then a lighter blue here with the beige, and I think it's just really striking. So I was really happy with this one. And that, like I said, that was $2. And then I got this cute little Talavera cat for $1. And if you look, he's kind of cross-eyed, which I think is just adorable. So anyway, that was that. The other thing that I got, which made up for my lack of luck throughout Utah, was the Glassybaby. And I'll put a picture up because I've already sold it, and I got it for $2.99 at the Layton Goodwill. And I was excited to find it because I really didn't even know what Glassybabies were until, just a few months ago. And I was really excited to find them because I know they're hard to find at thrift stores. And it wasn't until quite some time later, after a lot of research and joining a Glassybaby group on Facebook, that I found out that it was a really old one and really sought after. So I bought it for $2.99 and I sold it to a collector for $500, and that was her offer to me. And I could have maybe gotten more, but I'm totally happy with that, and she was happy. So I think that's the best kind of sale. I didn't really want to you know, try to make as much as I could just for the sake of doing that. So anyway, it's a happy ending to the story, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I really was excited to show you all just the beauty of the landscape and scenery in the national parks. If you can, please like this video and subscribe. That would help me so much. It doesn't cost you anything except a quick click or two. And certainly, I'm always open to your comments, and I read them all myself. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. It might, for long form videos, it might be a little while, just because I will be out of the country for 6 weeks and I won't be able to do any editing while I'm there. So I will try to post some shorts just to kind of keep a few things going. I'll be sourcing items for my Etsy shop in France while I'm there. We're also doing some restoration work on our house, so I'll give y'all a peek at that as well. So have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.